Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. We are taking a look today at my boys, the New York Islanders. As the Islanders right now, don't look now, the Islanders are on an 8-game point streak. And we'll be taking a look at the Islanders' success recently in this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to help support the channel, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. And let's take a look at my New York Islanders. So let's start things off with the Islanders record. Let's just take this in for a second. Let's just enjoy the fact that the Islanders are 16-6-4 on the season. 36 points for the New York Islanders, a .692 point percentage so far this year. Good enough for first in the East Division. Not to mention fifth in the NHL. No big deal. But the New York Islanders are on fire right now. And we are going to take a look at the Islanders' point streak. So it started against Buffalo. Fittingly enough, the Islanders have taken care of Buffalo a lot over the past couple weeks. So the Buffalo Sabres, it was a 3-2 victory in that game. So they won 3-2. They beat Boston 7-2 a couple weeks back. Obviously, when it seemed like the Bruins were falling off the rails a little bit because the next night they got their back blown out by the New York Rangers as well. So it was a tough stretch for Boston. And the Islanders took advantage. So the Islanders win against Buffalo and Boston. Then they lose to Pittsburgh 4-3 in overtime. But again, that's a point. They picked up a point, and they haven't lost since that game. They would play Pittsburgh again, 2-0 shutout. Not a big deal. Ilya Sorokin, the big white whale, picking up a big dub for the Islanders. As well as now we play the New Jersey Devils, a 2-1 victory for the Islanders in New Jersey. And then the Buffalo Marathon begins, where the Islanders bring the Buffalo Sabres. They take it like a sheep and just bring it into the slaughterhouse. This way, please. This way, please. We're just going to take 6 points from the Buffalo Sabres. 5-2 Islanders. 5-2 Islanders. 5-2 Islanders. I didn't make that up. The Islanders beat the Buffalo Sabres in 3 consecutive games, 5-2. It was basically the same game every time. The Islanders biting my nails a little bit in the first period. I don't know. The Islanders don't look so good here. Second period, they score 3, maybe 4 goals, and then they cap it off in the third period. And, all right, on to the next one. And that's what the Islanders did with Buffalo. And everybody starts to say, all right, well, the Islanders are looking good. They're on a 7-game point streak. But let's see how they do against Boston and Washington and Philly, because their record gets a lot worse when you take away Buffalo. They're at 500. If you take away the Islanders' 6 victories against Buffalo, they're at 500, which makes their record look a lot worse than it is. No need to fear. The Islanders play a close game against Boston. They gave up an early goal to David Pastrnak, 1-0 Boston. The Islanders tie the game. It's 1-1, a well-fought, well-played game by both sides. Boston trying to beat the Islanders at their own game. No. Barry Trotz laughing on the bench. The Islanders find a way to get it done in a shootout. I was very concerned going into that shootout. I'm like, oh, shit. You got Pastrnak, Marchand, Bergeron. This could be a bloodbath, but the Islanders find a way. Jordan Eberle, unbelievable, and the Islanders kind of knew Yaroslav Halak. That was the one thing I was like, all right, the Islanders have played with Halak in practice and stuff like that. They've had plenty of shootouts on Yaro, so they have his book a little bit, and maybe more so than Halak had his book on, his teammates. So I think that was huge for the Islanders. They find a way to get a victory. They continue an 8-game point streak that puts Boston back now, I believe, 6 points from the New York Islanders. Let's take a look at the standings, because now the Islanders are separating themselves, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. Now, last night, Washington got a victory. They beat New Jersey. Thanks, Devils. You couldn't keep the Islanders enjoying themselves, maybe with a 4-point lead over Washington, but whatever. They have 2 points ahead of Washington. They're 5 points ahead of Pittsburgh, who they recently struggled against. So they're 5 points ahead of Pittsburgh. They are 6 points ahead of the Boston Bruins. Now, here's the thing. The Islanders have played 26 games. You look at Washington, who's only 2 points back. They win that game in hand. They're tied with the Islanders. Pittsburgh, they could potentially only be 3 points back because they played one less game. And Boston has only played 23 games, which means they're 3 games back of the Islanders, which is easily 6 points, which would tie the New York Islanders. So the Islanders aren't out of the clear yet. We're starting to see Philly start to slip up. The New York Rangers, New Jersey, and Buffalo kind of seem to be lulling themselves to sleep right now as Philly, Boston, Pittsburgh, Washington, and the New York Islanders, the gap between those 6 teams is extremely close. And really those 5 teams, and everybody else, New Jersey, the Rangers, and Buffalo seem to be slowly, kind of shutting their eyes. That is the end of their season. So the New York Islanders, guys, they're playing really well right now. Let's be honest. And the Islanders, you look at goaltending, has been huge. Their goaltending has been very good. Looking at the goaltending stats, we've seen a big turnaround, especially from Ilya Sorokin, who really struggled in the beginning of the year. Obviously, that game against the Rangers, his first NHL start, did not go as planned. But since then, he has been really solid for the Islanders. You look at what he's done. Let's take a look. I found a stat line the other day on Ilya Sorokin. So, his past 4 starts, he's 4-0-0. He has 2 shutouts, a .952 save percentage, and a 1.00 goals against average. That's sick. That is really, really good. And don't look now, but, you're seeing Semyon Varlamov in potential Vezina conversation. A .929 save percentage and a .203 goals against average. He has been absolutely stellar. And again, you want to talk about guys, everybody's starting to get a little bit concerned about the Islanders' top line, specifically Anders Lee and Matt Barzal. Matt Barzal right now has 23 points for the Islanders. You saw what he did last weekend against Buffalo on live television, national television on NBC. Just that unbelievable between the legs goal. Let's just say I had to change my pants after that. That was unbelievable. And Anders Lee, guys, again, don't look now, but Anders Lee has got 12 goals on this season. That is only 3 back of who? Connor McDavid. Yeah. That's how this works, guys. That is where we're at right now. Yeah, you look at where is he? So Anders Lee is tied for 11th in the NHL for points, or for goals. He's 4 back of Connor McDavid. He's still not 8 back of Austin Matthews, who is the top goal scorer. But again, we're looking at the guys he has the same amount of goals as. Mikko Rantanen, Kyle Connor, Braden Shen, Max Pacioretty, Alex Tuch. He has more goals than Patrick Kane, Leon Draisaitl, Mark Scheifele, Nikolai Ehlers, Johnny Hockey, Joel Farabee. Guys, he is in some legit territory. So, Anders Lee, the captain of the New York Islanders, making that contract he signed with the Islanders back in the day, look pretty solid right now. He's playing very well for the Islanders. Again, we've seen the emergence of guys, the rookies, guys like Oliver Wahlstrom, Ilya Sorokin in between the pipes, Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson has really been under the radar. He's not picking up a ton of goals. He's picking up more assists for the Islanders, but he's picking up those assists. He's jumping up on the play. I've noticed a lot. He's bringing the puck up more, which I think you start writing in the gravestone here for Nick Leddy, because he's going to be the Islanders' power play defenseman, and I think he's going to be the quarterback for the Islanders' power play moving forward. He's a lot cheaper than Nick Leddy, and let's be honest, he's younger. So I think we're going to see Noah Dobson continue to do that. He's like dumping the puck in and chasing his own puck. He is really becoming more confident with the puck. His passing abilities off the boards and winning puck battles. Noah Dobson is secretly becoming the Islanders' weapon on the blue line, and you could thank a lot of it to Barry Trotz. I think last year he was underplayed, and I kind of gave a lot of criticism to Trotz and Lou Lamoriello for that lack of ice time for Dobson, but it seems to be paying off right now, and I think he's really destined for a long, successful career in the NHL. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think this is just a spurt for the Islanders? Do you think this is legit? Guys, they're 5th in the NHL. They are in some serious competition with some of these teams in that East Division. Like I mentioned, Pittsburgh with Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. Washington, they won a Stanley Cup a couple years ago. Alex Ovechkin. Philadelphia, they were a legit team last year. So these are the kind of teams. Boston, they're always going to be in the conversation. So the Islanders have a really tough schedule in their division. But the key is, everybody says, oh, they beat Buffalo, whatever. Yeah, but the thing is, they won those games. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and keep it close with the teams that you're equal to. And the Islanders, for the most part, have done that. They've taken care of Boston. It seems like the Islanders just are a good matchup against Boston. Boston doesn't match up well with the Islanders, which is disappointing for them. But the Islanders, guys, this is an Islanders team. We're starting to see them really, it's a metamorphosis of what we've seen from the Islanders. They're scoring more. They're just playing their game. And it's to the point where you go to Nassau Coliseum or whatever they want to call it. You go to that building, you know the style that the Islanders are going to play. The question is, can you beat the Islanders at their own game? And it seems like nobody right now has had the solution to that success for the Islanders. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of the New York Islanders? Do you think this is legit? Do you think they'll win the East Division this year? Let me know in the comment section down below. And guys, let's just remember, in 2020, the New York Islanders went to the Eastern Conference Final and lost in 6 games to Tampa Bay. The Islanders, under the radar, but they're a dark horse in the NHL. I'm going to say it right now. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go Islanders.